onto next news. I want to kind of keep it in the same thing because it's a lot of big money being thrown around in the podcast world. I want to know how you felt about that.
Honestly, I haven't. It's dope because it is another art form. It's a media outlet. It's a job. You know, people put in precious times and hours. I think that's dope. I still think there's different skills, you know, as far as, especially in, you know, music, media, as far as pay, Hollywood even, you know what I'm saying? There's people who act and, you know, people are like, they're not getting paid enough and they're getting paid the pay scale, you know what I'm saying? So I think everything, you know, has a scale. Of course, Joe Budden's going to get a $50 million deal, you know, but what about the little guy, you know, in New Hampshire, you know, trying to do his thing, you know? So I think it's still not even across the board, but it's dope to see it being accepted because for so long it wasn't even looked at like a real occupation or, you know, a real entity, a real job. So that's dope. What I'm really excited about is them monetizing socials for everybody. You can make money on your socials if you do enough traffic, if you make enough noise. So I feel like they're realizing there's enough money going around, but you also have to feed the people because you couldn't, you know, Instagram and now Facebook, you can make money, you know, and people might not be making thousands, but I've seen people make $50, $500, you know, out of nowhere because of what they do on social networks. So I think the whole monetization of people's that's been my problem with working occupations, 9 to 5s. I don't feel like people get paid for their lives. So I think it's dope for people getting paid for who they are, what they want to do. You know, it's not some set up process program. It's them giving who they are. So I think it's dope.
Yeah, no, I've been seeing a lot of people getting money. Drink Champs just got a deal, just signed a deal. As we know, Barstool signed Wallow and Gilly the Kid. And we're talking about big money, hundreds of millions. So it's amazing to see where this is moving forward, you know, from a point in time where everybody was like, it's basically listening to radio. You know, everybody's like, oh, it's just people
What you guys
talking.
doing? What's that?
Yeah, it's audio book, it's audio tape. You know what I'm saying? And to be blessed to work with people, you know what I'm saying, such as our guest today, Reese. I worked with him on his podcast and got to open my eyes and see a lot and learn a lot in that process of, you know, not only being in a podcast because everybody swear they could talk and hold conversation.
I got something to say. I know you don't.
But also, no, for real, yeah, I got a cause.
I'm sure
I got a cause too.
No, I want to shout out D Reese too because he's not a follower. Like he's one of the originals, especially for our generation
in podcasting.
You know, of course, there's older generations who've done stuff, but as far as podcast goes, nobody really was trying to do that. Doing that. And he opened doors for people. You know, he wasn't afraid to share with people, even when he was spotted. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Reese because he was out here, you know, putting on for the podcast. Everybody was like, "What's that?"
You know, that's why I wanted to have him on because, you know, not just with him leaving, but also, you know, he is one of the first people I know to do this and invite me in and say, hey, you know, there's a lot of people who are doing podcasts who were getting ideas from us or who were just talking to us about it, but it was never like, hey, you know, you got something to talk about, come on. And when we first did the show, it was like, this is it, you know, and so it was great, man. We was in many places. We went from Tacoma to Q93, you know what I'm saying, the back and forth. We've been in a lot of places. So once again, I'm thankful for him in that sense because he opened my eyes to something that I didn't see as lucrative. You know, it's an art. We're going to talk. We do music all the time, but whoever thought that it would be money made off of podcasts, you know, off of vlogging.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where this big money come from? And now they're monetizing it. I love it. I appreciate it. I just want us Black creators and us, you know, just like the TikTok thing, you know, I just want the Black people who are creating, who are innovating to be paid well and to be paid right. Shout out Flow Rider.
Yeah, shout out to Flow Rider. He got the $82 million. What's crazy is the company played themselves. Flow Rider wanted $30 million from, I forgot the name. It starts with a C.
He wanted 30,000 from Celsius.
You know, just, you know, for what I did for your company. You know, I'm one of the biggest. I didn't know
you guys used one of my songs that went top 10.
Yeah, you know, and I helped bring light to you. They're worth that man $82 million in court. So do good business, man.
And lawsuits are non-tax. If you guys didn't know it, they're non-tax. You can't get taxed on lawsuits, so he's gonna get $82 million through and through.
Shout out to Flow Rider.
Yeah, but no, back to the subject. I am thankful for the monetizing by podcasters. I just want them to be able to influence and support and give money to Black spaces and Black creators. So
yeah, we're always looking for donations to the homies foundations.